Hello guys, welcome back to a new tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to present your designs, kind of like this. And this is a banner that I did for Christopher London quite a while ago. I think I did it on stream as well. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And so yeah, I'm going to show you how to present your designs kind of like this so you can post them on Twitter or wherever you want to post them. And yeah, so let's get into it. So I've got my design here. It's literally just the design. There's no excess canvas around it. So what you want to do is you want to do what I've done. You can see that I've only got the design on its own, just like this. Then you can go to your crop tool and then you can literally just expand it up, and if you hold Alt you can expand it from both sides, otherwise it would only go up one side. So if you hold Alt it'll go up from both sides until we find that we have enough space, and yeah, I think that'll be good enough. So now as you can see that we've basically expanded our canvas out, and now what we're going to need to do is fill this transparency. So to do that, I'm just going to make a new layer just by clicking there, and then we're going to drag it below our design, and then we're going to make sure that our foreground color is a black. Then we can press Alt backspace, and then that will use our foreground color to fill the layer. And now you see that we've got rid of the transparency, and now we're going to get this really cool background that we've got here. So to do that, what we're going to do is going to make a new layer just by pressing the icon again, and then we're going to go to our brush tool, which is over here, or you can press B on your keyboard, go to this default brush, which is right here, and then you can make sure the hardness is on 0. The size doesn't really matter, just because it's easier to see while you're in here. So if you want to change the size of your brush, just use the square bracket keys. Yeah, just use the square bracket keys until you find the right size that you're looking for. Make sure that you have white as your foreground color. Make sure that your brush is the right size. Then you just click in the corner, and then we'll do it to this corner as well. And if you want to undo, and like you want to move the brush, you can just press Command Z, and then that'll undo, or Control Z if you're on a Windows computer. Now we're going to lower the opacity of these brushes. As you can see, it doesn't look that good right now, but what we can do is go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and then this will basically expand the radius of the brush, and you will need to blur it quite a lot just for it to make an effect, but this does land up looking pretty good. So, okay, I think that'll look good. So we blurred ours by 247.5 pixels, and just press OK there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and we're going to get this. All I literally did is type in textures, and you've got all these really cool textures here. You can pretty much use any of these, or they will all work pretty well. But I'm going to use this one, so just go to View Image, just download it the same way you do to any image, and just click and drag it in. Maybe I should actually click it, and there we go. Let it load. Okay, so now we want to expand it so it covers the whole canvas, and once you've done that, you can press on the tick at the top. And we want it to be below our two lights in the corners, but we want it to be above the background, obviously. So now that we've done that, we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and again we're going to have to blur this quite a lot, just so we get these. So just so you can get like these dark patches and the light patches, and they look really cool, as you can see there. So you can just mess around with that, see what suits it best. And there we go. We've actually got a really cool background already, and that just goes to show you can literally just use any of these textures. I'm sure that if I picked another one, it would work out just the same. And yeah. So now we've done that, you can see that we've already got a cool background, but it doesn't suit the theme of the headers. You can see they're completely different colors, so we're gonna have to add some color correction. So now what we're gonna do is we can press Command U on our keyboard while we have selected our texture, and we can just find the right color to suit our banner. So as you can see, our banner is kind of a dark purple, kind of. So we might try and find that kind of effect. If you can't find it, you can just press colorize. You can do it this way. It might be a lot easier, but that just means you do lose a lot of the variety in your colors when you do it this way. So we might actually just, you know what? We'll just go for something like this. It doesn't really matter. It's because we're going to be adding more color correction now. So what we're going to do is going to go to brightness and contrast. We're going to decrease the brightness, just like that, and then we can increase the contrast a bit. Okay, and what you might want to do now, you might want to set your brushes that you put on either side to 100% opacity, and then we can actually set them to overlay, and then that also looks pretty cool. You can see that we basically enhanced the lights in the corners, and they look pretty cool. And yeah, you can see already that it's actually starting to look really nice. And if you wanted to, you could just move your design upwards and put some, maybe design 2 banners, maybe design the Twitter header and a channel art. So you would basically just move the channel art or Twitter header to the top, and then put the other one below it. And yeah, it's really easy to customize this kind of style showcase. and yeah, it looks really cool. And now we can just keep fiddling with these with the color corrections. We might decrease the exposure, or we might increase the exposure and then increase the gamma correction. And it kind of just, I don't know, it just looks really cool. And yeah, so now we've done that, we can double click on our design. We can go to drop shadow. It might be a bit hard to see with this background, but we can just we'll increase the size a bit. Actually no, you can see it pretty well. And I'd probably keep the opacity to 75%, change the blend mode to multiply, and then the drop shadow should be black always. And then yeah, you can see it adds a really cool drop shadow effect. And it just adds to the effect of the showcase, and it just presents your work really nicely. And yeah, so as you can see, we've presented this pretty well. Again, we could just keep adding more color correction just to keep enhancing it, but at the moment it doesn't really look like it needs changing, just because I think it looks really cool the way it is right now. So yeah, we might actually leave the curves out. Yeah, I think we'll leave them out. Okay, so now we've done our color correction. Those are all we really use is 2 layers, and then we added the color correction to the texture. So it's really simple to do, and it looks really good. Now I might add some text. So if this was going to be a speed art, I might put like the video, and then we can hold Command and then drag this out holding Shift, and then obviously I put please at the beginning, just like that. And to make sure it's centered, we could just use our purple lines just to make sure it snaps to the middle. Or we could just click on our background layer, press Command T, and then get our rulers out. If you don't have the rulers along the outside, just press Command R, and then just drag it into the middle, just like that. And then once we've done that, we can just go back to our text layer, press Command T again, and then we can make sure it's centered that way as well. And yeah. So now we've done our first line of text. I'll probably add another line of text, but then I'll do this in a different font. So I'll duplicate that just by pressing Command J, and I'll duplicate the layer, then just hold Shift and drag it down just so it stays in line. Then we can press Command T and then drag this in just to make it a bit smaller. And then go back to our text tool by pressing T on your keyboard, click on text, click on the text, and I'll put designed by BazDZN. And then what I'd do is I'd probably I'll keep the same font, but then change the style. So instead of going extra bold, I might go semi bold, and then we'd need to type in the capital. So we put design just like that, and you can see the different fonts, they look kind of cool. And yeah, so that's basically how you showcase your designs in a really cool way. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, and don't forget to comment and subscribe as well. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in my next video.